Okay, so next restoration project is this. It's a Schumacher Cat K2. It's from about 2015, I think late 2015. So it's getting on for 10 years old now, which is, yeah, I mean, it still looks like a modern car. So this is the predecessor to the L1 series Cats, which is a current model, although they've been through a few evolutions. But yeah, I've been on the lookout for a K2 for a while now, so I was happy to pick this one up. This car came without shocks. It had Cat SX2 shocks on from my previous project, so it had shocks like this. I want to do this completely original. So you might have seen me struggling just now on high speed trying to get this bearing off this drive shaft. So I'm going to need to take this into the workshop and just carefully support the bearing and tap it with a hammer to get it off. You often get that problem with older cars, things get seized up, but I'm sure I can work it out. But yeah, otherwise teardown's going okay. No major problems. This will get done. One thing I wanted to tell you about when you strip down an old car, you know, with bulkhead screws on the chassis, sometimes what you find is the screws are seized up. You can't get them off, and that is obviously a real problem with the build. So luckily I didn't have that this time, but just things you can try if you find that on your project. So if you look at a bulkhead like this, it's got two screw holes on there. Now if you can get one of them out and then take as many of the components out as you can in that surrounding area, then what you can do is with the remaining screw that's got a stripped head, you can just turn the bulkhead anti-clockwise, and that will often be enough just to free it up, so you can get the screw out without too much trouble. If you're really unlucky and both of them are seized up and you can't get the bulkhead off at all, either that or maybe the screws are rounded off, then that's a much more serious problem. There are things you can do. Now, thing to remember is you've only got to get one of those screws out. If you can get one screw out, you can do like I just explained, and turn the bulkhead anti-clockwise once all the other components are stripped off. But if you are stuck with that problem, the thing to try is, if you look at this screw in here, what I've done in the past is taken a very small circular saw, like a Dremel tool or something similar, and just very, very lightly scratch a line in the top of this. It is really, really hard, especially if you try not to damage the chassis, but you can, if you're careful, score a line in the top of the screw, and then if you use a sharp screwdriver, you know, that might be enough to get the screw out. It is really hard to do that without marking the chassis, but you know, if you're gonna strip the chassis down anyway, then maybe you can get the scratches out. But yeah, hopefully you'll never have that problem. I've had it in the past. It's a tough one, but yeah, otherwise, yeah, it's all okay. No major issues. some of the bearings are a little bit seized up. So I'll give you a little tip for getting some life back into the bearings. Oh, this one's actually okay, but what I use is I've got a little punch tool like this that I find quite useful for testing bearings and just getting them back to life. So you put the bearing on a tool like that, just spin it. Maybe you feel it's seized up or there's some grit in there or something like that. So to bring it back to life, even if you flushed it out already and it's still not it's still not running free, what you can do is dribble a little bit of lighter fuel or brake fluid onto the bearing. Do it near an open window or outside because the fumes are not good for you from that stuff. Yeah, drip a little bit on there or maybe some WD-40. Spin it, just keep working it. A little bit more fluid in there. Just keep working it like that. And more often than not, you can get it to come back to life, even without taking the seals off, because taking the seals off is pretty hard, without damaging them at least. But yeah, I can usually get them back to life pretty easily like that. Sometimes they're seized up fully and you're just going to have to replace them. But more often than not, you can get them back to life just by doing that. So yeah, I'm going to the workshop now to see if I can get this this little guy off, and yeah, then we'll look at what we've got to clean up and next steps. I've got the car stripped down now into bits and pieces and organised it into different components. So I've cleaned up the aluminium bulkheads. I've got a couple of new ones to upgrade it because these were plastic on the car that I got. So I've got aluminium ones of those to match the rest of it. So that's cool. Had a problem with one of the gears on the transmission. It's this little fella here. It's got a missing tooth. So luckily I managed to get a replacement from eBay. I think that's actually off of Cougar, but it's the same gear in there, and I got a few others as well, so that's good. I've cleaned up these I don't know what you call them, bits that go on the side of the chassis. They had some sort of foam glued along there with super glue, so I had to carefully strip that all off and clean it up. But it's come out all right actually, so that's looking nice and clean. So got the instruction manual here, all the bits and pieces. So I'm going to start building the car back up. Got the new chassis here. So I'll start the assembly now, and just anything that needs fixing along the way, I'll just do it. I've got a couple of diffs to rebuild, but that shouldn't be too bad. And yeah, I'll get started on the rebuild. Here's a quick build update on the Schumacher K2. So I'm well into the assembly, as you can see. It's going pretty well, but I found a few things that took me some time to sort out when I was rebuilding this. So the diffs both needed quite a lot of work. They've got tiny little pins on the bevel gears that hold the bevel gears in, and they seem to be a bit of a weak spot because they're very, very small, and they take the power for each corner of the car, and they were shattered in both the front and the rear diffs. So I had to replace those, but it wasn't a big deal. A couple of other things that confused me. So this car has an optional aluminium rear what is it, turnbuckle kind of bracket thing here. I can't remember the name of it. And the kit part's a carbon fibre plate, and I took the car all to pieces, and I was looking for this carbon fibre piece the manual was telling me I needed, and I couldn't find it. And then I realised that it had this optional extra thing on. So that's just me being stupid and not paying attention when I was stripping the car down. Then I had a similar experience with this this central pulley here. So I took it apart again, assuming it was all standard, and it turns out this is a another optional extra. It's got like a slipper clutch here. So and I couldn't find the instructions online, and the instructions for this weren't in the manual. So I just had to kind of work it out, but it seems all right. So yeah, that's no big deal. So that's all good. So otherwise, yeah, it's all going together really well. Next, I'm going to put the servo and the motor in and start doing some of that stuff before you put the chassis side plates on. I need to just loosen up the steering. I put in like 0.5 mil shim too much, I think there. It's a little bit tight, so I'll take that out. Transmission's all right. Again, these gears need a little bit running in, but it's not too bad. But yeah, so far so good. And yeah, it's a pretty nice build. The other thing I wanted to point out is the front hexes here are very slim and not a great design. Also, the drive shafts are very short, so the axles, you can see there's not really much free thread coming through. I mean, you don't want too much, obviously, or else it'll catch on things. But I found that when I tightened up the wheel, the wheel was rubbing on the hub because these hexes are so thin. The wheel kind of goes in more than it does on the rear. So I had to put some spacers on just to stop it rubbing, but that means the wheels are a little bit hard to put on. The nut's not got too much thread to bite on. It's fine now, but I guess if I was using this car for racing, I'd have to do something about that, and maybe get some L1 drive shafts. Maybe they're a little bit longer, and change that. But you know, this car's not really going to go anywhere, so it doesn't matter. But no, it's a good build. I'm trying to keep it black, but I couldn't resist the odd sort of purple screw here and there, or washer. So yeah, but no, it's looking pretty cool, I think. So I'll carry on with build and update soon.
So I hope you like this build. I really enjoyed doing it. It's a bit of a forgotten about car, so it was good to give it a good home, and it's obviously superseded with the L1 and all the success that had. So yeah, but it laid the path for that, and I really like it. I like the look of it, and it's just another well put together car by Schumacher. So hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see what happens next.